Happy Monday, everybody. How's it going? Here's the deal. We got through Christmas and we've got a short week this week. So we're going to be almost to 2021. So 2020 is almost behind us. That's celebratory within itself. So anyway, hey Pam, hey Karen, hey everybody. So of course, every time I come to do a Facebook Live, what happens? Theo starts barking. So today is what we call our Color Crush Monday. So all week long on social media, we'll be featuring a color out of the Amy Howard at Home collection line. And we show you how it can be used in interiors, how it can be used on furniture, and just showing you the complementary colors that go along with it, as well as how you can use it on whether it's a piece of furniture, a cabinet, and then how to use maybe a light wax. Today, we're going to do the light wax and the dark wax. So we are going over Ambala Blue, and let me show you what this color looks like. It is a gorgeous, 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 soft blue. If you love rooms with grays and blues and creams and cooler colors, just even a natural, even lighter natural woods are absolutely beautiful with this Ambala Blue. It's gorgeous. Can you just see it? Now, I don't know if it shows up as well on camera. Hey, Natalie. I don't know if it shows up as well on camera, but it's really a beautiful color. I actually painted wound up painting my bathroom vanities upstairs in this Ambala Blue. I love it. It's really, really fab. So I want to be able to show you too. These are some colors that we have selected for you to be able to see that go with it. I just need more hands, don't I? All right, so we have, I'm going to put this down so that way I can turn it around so that way you can actually see it. So, hey Carmelina, so as you pop on here, just say hey and tell me where you're tuning in from. And if you've never watched my lives before, I do lives Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So on Mondays, I do Color Crush Monday, where I go over a color that we have in the line. On Wednesday, I show you a technique on how to create a special finish. You're going to love this week's finish. And then on Friday, we do a tip or a trick. So we teach you how to be able to repair furniture. And so that is usually when I bring in Gene Howard, and I have him use his expertise in showing us how to restore furniture, because a lot of times, even if we want to paint something, maybe there's some restoration or something that needs to take place with it. All right, so if you share this video, your name will go in for a drawing. It will happen day after tomorrow on Wednesday. We will draw names for this Ambala Blue, and we're going to be giving away a can of this Ambala Blue paint. So all you have to do is share the video, and here's the cool thing. We're all about education, and we love being able to empower people through education on how to rescue and restore furniture. All right, so I'm going to turn this down for just a second. Hey, guys. All right, so I'm going to turn this down. I want to be able to show you. So here's the Ambala Blue that we're going over today. Now, these are some complementary colors that go really well with it. This is our Lakai Blue. This is a gorgeous darker blue that goes beautiful with this Ambala Blue. We have our Weybridge Classic. This has a little bit more green tones in it. It's more of a kind of a gray green. It's really quite fabulous. Then we have our Spa White. So it shows you being able to put it next to the blue and that more of a green gray, that Spa White, just how gray it is, but it's still considered a white color. And then our Vanderbilt Gray. So look at these colors with this Ambala Blue. See how beautiful they are? Incorporate that in. So if we're working in a room, if we're working from as far as interior design, I love using natural sisal rugs in my rooms. Would be beautiful with this. Even going into more of a crisper white, you could even go into a paler gray, which would be really, really pretty. And sometimes using these colors can be as accent pieces. Maybe they're on pillows, maybe they're on linens, maybe they're on a slip cover. But this would be a great color on a beautiful piece of furniture. Usually when you're working with larger pieces too, they look great in light colors like this Ambala Blue, which is beautiful. Now, here's the other fun thing that I want you to remember. painting the inside of a cabinet is you want to do it in a complementary color. So you could paint the inside of the cabinet, this Lakai blue would be beautiful. You could paint the inside of your cabinet spa white, which would be beautiful with this. So you've got a lot of versatility in how you want to be able to use it and being able to see these colors that are complementary with our color crush of the week. All right, so I'm just going to show you, I'm going to set this aside for just 1 second. And I want you to be able to see if maybe you have an existing piece of furniture that's oak, maybe it is pine, maybe it's walnut, that you can take the Ambala blue, which is a lighter color, allowing you to be able to see it kind of in a wet form in the can. The coverage is really pretty good. Now, before you start to paint your furniture, you know, we always tell you clean it with a clean slate, because a lot of furniture has surfactants on it already. If it was a piece that was in the 70s or 60s, I assure you it probably had liquid gold on it. I don't know how many homes, I know my mom did, we had liquid gold on everything. So you want to be sure to clean it first. This is a refinisher's grade cleaner, and it will remove the surfactants, it will remove waxes. So a lot of people, if you put on too much wax or you need to start over, this clean slate will take the wax off. It will also clean the wax out of your brushes, and it will also remove other things that are a greasy type quality off of things, even if you want to be able to come back and use even tonic over it. But what I'm showing you today is I just want you to be able to see the coverage and how easy it is. So you just want to wipe it down with the clean slate first, which has already been done. And I'm going to load up my synthetic brush so you kind of see how thick this is. We call this one step, guys, because it's one step. It is not one coat. You want to put on 2 thinner coats of this to be able to get good coverage. Now, as you have always learned from Gene, he will start on the top, the center first, and then he'll do the outside last. So as I'm loading up my brush, it is a process to where I will do a lot of layering and fanning out. So as I usually will go down one pass like this, I'll come back another pass to fan it out using the opposite side of my brush. So that's going to give me nice coverage. Now, there again, please, I know it's looking like you're going, oh, Amy, well, that's really good coverage. I may have some areas in here that maybe are a little bit streakier, and I'm not going to try to get it covered this first pass. I'm okay with that because I do want to have 2 coats on this because it's going to be a lot prettier. Now, you'll notice this oak has a lot of red in it. And as I start to cover it up, you can just see how gorgeous this blue is. This is a blue that really and truly goes really well in beach homes. It's not offensive. I know there are certain light blues that they feel kind of dated to me, but I love this Ambala blue because I love that it goes with a lot of other darker colors. It's very complementary with your grays. Now look at that. See how easy that is? The other thing I hope in doing these Facebook Lives and these YouTube videos is that you'll see it over and over to such an extent that you'll go, you know what? I probably could do that. I'm not going to be nervous. And here's the deal. I really encourage people to go to Restore and get a door or a drawer and experiment with a color. I don't want you to ever paint your piece of furniture as your first experiment piece. I want you to be able to get something that you can invest $2 in a door and be able to just come in here and paint it and be able to see about doing long, clean strokes like this. Now you'll see how there's an OG edge here. Anytime there's any indentations of your door, you can just lay that down on the side like this. And then I usually come back and just kind of feather it out. Now, areas like this that I'm seeing, now, okay, now I'm glad that I'm showing you this. See how I'm coming back in when that was wet? It's saying it's double processing. Don't touch that. Like, leave that alone and allow that to dry. Once the paint has started to set up, I want you to be able to leave it alone. Let's let it dry for about 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll do our second coat. Do not try to get 100% coverage on this first coat. This is just about getting the paint on, and then you're going to come back after about 30 minutes and put on your second coat, and you're going to be a lot happier with it. So I just wanted to put enough on here so that way you could see how pretty this new color is that we're introducing to you this week. It's our Ambala blue. It goes really well with these colors. Isn't that yummy? All right, now I'm going to move this aside because I've got one that's already dry. And when it dries down, you're going to notice that it's going to go into this beautiful dead flat matte finish. That's the beauty of working with the one-step paint. Now, you do not have to seal this if you don't want to. You can clean it. You can lay a bag of ice on top of this and you can let the ice melt all over it, and it is not going to leave a watermark. But matte finish paint will have a tendency to get dirtier faster because it does not have a finish to it. So what I suggest to people is to be able to use, if you want to be able to have a patina to it, you can use the wax. So this is our light antique wax, and I'm going to use our hog hair brush and load it up. Always offload it. And part of what I like in waxing it is the fact that it's going to give me a really pretty natural sheen. I'm going to do part of this because I want you to see what it looks like before the wax, and I want you to see after the wax. Because a lot of people will say, don't I need to use clear wax? Isn't it going to change the color? Well, I'm going to show you that really quickly. You can use the light antique wax, guys, and it really doesn't give you that much of a color. Now, I stopped about right here. This is with the light antique wax, and it has the carnauba as well as the beeswax in it. That's where that color comes from, and if you smell of it, it's just yummy because you smell the beeswax. Now let's look at this. You see, this side has the natural beeswax, that light antique wax, and this has nothing on it. There is really no difference in the color. So when people are thinking, I don't want to age it, it's going to make it dirty, it doesn't. You can't see it at all. Now, a lot of people like the clear wax, but I just want you to have that comfort level of knowing it's even on this really light, gorgeous color of Ambala blue that I'm showing you here today, that you can't see the wax. So the point of the wax is a couple of things. It's to be able to give you a patina. It can buff up. It gives you a natural sheen because, to be quite honest with you, those gorgeous pieces, those English antiques, those Venetian antiques, those pieces that we see in these shops that really have some nice age to them, what do they have on top of them? They have wax. And so that, as that ages with the oils in our skin, and it starts to come up in a sheen here and there, it gives it a really beautiful patina. Now, I've done the whole thing with the light antique wax, lickety-split, really easy. And if I want to age this, I can come back with the dark wax. Now, I tell people this all the time. Please don't use this by itself. This is the dark antique wax. Don't use this by itself. You can use it in combination with the light antique wax. But one of the fastest way, guys, that you're going to ruin a project is by using too much of this. What is the whole point of the dark wax? Is to give a little bit of age. It's to be able to give a little bit of shadowing, and you've got to make sure that your light antique wax has come to tack before you do the dark wax. Why? Because if this is still wet and you start to come back with this dark wax, it's going to meld and you're literally going to have one color and it's just going to get muddy. Now, I need to see if I've got a waxing brush. And I'm going to show you what it can be done with the dark wax. When you are applying dark wax, while it's okay to use this hog hair, this larger brush for light wax, you don't ever want to use it for dark wax. You use a chip brush for dark wax. because this is going to apply too much, and using a chip brush is going to allow you an edge that's really, really small, because I'm only concerned about getting around the edges. Because if I do this with this, it's just going to be way too much wax. So here's just a regular chip brush, and I'm going to load up a little bit of this dark wax. And then you want to make sure, always, 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 as you load it up to get it evenly distributed, now offload it. A lot of you may go, why does she always do that? One, it allows me to evenly distribute the dark wax on my brush, but offloading it like this is making sure that I'm not going to get too much wax on my piece. Is everybody with me? So, hey guys, as you come on and you see me, hey, my name is Amy Howard, and I am the founder and mother maker, they call me, of Amy Howard at Home. And Jean and I develop and manufacture the products that you see that we use. We've been furniture designers, manufacturers, and refinishers now for over 35 years. Sometimes that's really hard for me to say that. Sometimes not, but anyway. So this is the light antique wax. Now I'm going to come back. I'm waiting just a second because I'm wanting this to kind of come to tack. If it's real, real cool, and if it's still kind of greasy, I don't want you to put it on yet. So I'm always really careful about kind of pushing this. But so I'm going to come back just very gently around the edges. Where does a piece of furniture get dirty as a rule? Where is it going to antique? It's going to be first around the edges. I don't know why it is. A lot of people, they just go dead center for the, I don't want you to do that. Work your edges first and then just shadow it in. All right? So here we go. So I can tell just by touching that, I've got a little too much. It's always best to try to take off as much as possible. You can always add more, but don't try to put on too much in the beginning. All right, so look, feather kisses, guys. I am just barely touching this brush on the edge of this, just barely. I don't want to get too much. I'm just dusting it. So let's see. Can you see me? All right, so watch this. I am hitting it on either side. So I am getting this part of my door as well as the edge. I'm going to work my way around. Let's turn this around. So hey guys, as you come on, just tell me where you're watching from. If you share this video, your name will go in for a drawing. And we're going to be giving away our Color Crush color this week of Ambala Blue. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous pale blue that goes with almost anything. Now, look at this. So I'm working my way around. I'm just dusting it. And what am I doing? I'm turning my brush from side to side. I'm being very careful just to only get a little bit on there. I don't want this real severe. I don't want it to look like it's been dragged behind a pickup truck. Now you saw how very little wax I loaded up. Now, let's see if we can tell. Look at this side. See how little of the dark wax I put on? See how soft it is? Look at this side. This side has no dark wax on it. So can you see the difference? If you want this look, if you want it to be slightly aged, let's make it look like it has a pedigree, that it's something that's really yummy, that has been taken care of. And so I'm going to turn this. Let me see if I can do it just a little bit so you can see. You see that? Very soft, very subtle. This isn't about it being crazy. Look at that. Really, really pretty. Nice, soft, and pretty. Now I'm going to work my way. After I do the outside of a door or a drawer, I'm going to work my way in. I want to be really careful as I'm doing it because it's more of a shadowing. So I'm going to start and just work my way around into the center of the door like this. Now here, what's the interesting thing? I never loaded up the wax again. I am still working with what I had because it's not about it being really severe. I promise in the long run, it's going to be something that you're going to enjoy a lot longer for a long, long time. See that? Can you tell? Now, I can work with it if I want to be able to come back and add just a tiny bit more dark wax. I am not about too dramatic on these lighter colors. I want it to be something that feels authentic and not too terribly contrived. So I may just very softly, see how it's just kind of grabbing on the side of that, like that. Just very, very soft. And then I'm gonna allow this to dry for about 30 minutes. I can let it dry upwards of an hour. I can let it dry tomorrow if I want to. Can you see that? And then after it's dry, I'm gonna take a lint-free rag and I'm going to buff it. Now, here's what I want you to make sure that you're careful with. If you get a lint-free rag and you're like scrubbing it, you're gonna notice some of the dark wax is gonna be removed. That's not necessary. Guys, this is all about cure time. This is all about allowing it to be able to dry, allowing it to be able to come to tag. And I can wait a few days if I want to, and then I can come back and I can buff this. And allowing your paint to cure, so that way the longer it cures, the more it bonds to the door or the drawer or whatever it is that you're painting. And you're gonna be able to have something that you're going to be able to enjoy for years to come. Now, I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm just gonna come back really gently, and I'm just gonna buff it to where I've just got this really soft, simple sheen that's gonna allow me to be able to see just a little bit of that edge where that's been darkened, but not too terribly much. And then that way come back and maybe on the inside of my piece, even let's say you don't have glass doors. Maybe it's just the inside of a china cabinet or a cupboard, but it's completely covered. It's always fun to add a little bit of a surprise and paint the inside a complementary color. How yummy would it be to have this Lakai blue or maybe this Vanderbilt gray inside this cabinet? Wouldn't that be yummy? Always think about the opportunity where you can add a little bit of a surprise element, a complementary color that really makes this piece that much more spectacular. So thanks so much for watching me today. Thank you for being a part of our company here at Amy Howard at Home. We value you and we appreciate you so very much. Take advantage of the sale that we have going on right now. It's 15% off. Of almost anything. There's a code that you can enter, and then that way you can take advantage of that sale and be able to get this gorgeous Color Crush Ambala blue today. Now, be sure and tune in and watch me Wednesday afternoon. I'm going to show you how to create a gorgeous, gorgeous blue color that's much more provincial. It's showing you how to create a beautiful wear that it makes it look like a piece that came from the countryside of the south of France. Totally different look. So I'll see you on Wednesday. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.